world. It's your boy at Big Game James _36, and this is Big Games BS, presented by MFTK Foundation. MFTKFoundation.com is the go-to website for all things MFTK related. We will get into that here shortly as we just finalized the Big Games weekend, community give back weekend. Oh Lord. Oh, Dibby's over here. My guy Dibby's over here messing with doing the hairline jokes. But had a good weekend, bad weekend, all wrapped up. All in all, we're here. We're with each other, so we're gonna survive. So please make sure hit subscribe, that like button as we move forward. Got the next thing we got is the tailgate for all tailgates coming up, but we'll promote that more here coming up shortly. But we'll start this show off the same way we start our show off each and every day, with a word of prayer.
You already know what time it is, dog. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God. God is great. All the time. All the time. Nobody wanna thank you, God. Thank you, God. Go.
All right, Jaden, what we got going for today?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another morning edition of Big Games BS here on Monday, August 10th. This is your first time at the show. Welcome. And if you're wondering why it's called Big Games BS, it's because we bring the good, the bad, and the BS of the sports world, especially football, to your screens, eyes, and ears. First things first, we have some MFTK topics to get through before getting to our NCAA talk. Gonna start off this section with some FSU football talk. Then we're gonna spread all across the country throughout different college programs. Then we're gonna transition from that to the NFL. We're gonna start off with the Jaguars, talk about some details about some specific players in camp that's standing out, talk about the running backs who've gotten paid, the NFL Hall of Fame game recap, do a quick one of that, and some more players who's looking to make a splash on the field. Got some more recent news for you guys, and guess the NFL offense at the end of our NFL segment before getting to our Big Games BS section for today with our BS or Bussin' food review segment. This is where we bring the scope of the conversation outside the typical sports world, and we have a recap video for you guys courtesy of James's social media, specifically his X account. We got the video, James, right here of one of your community givebacks I want to put on the screen so everybody can see what it is you really do for the community. So I got it right here. I'm going to press play.
I like coming back to be able to show people that Tallahassee is just such an incredible city. And sometimes people just need opportunities to be able to develop. This year was a little bit more of a struggle. A lot of things going on in the world, but to be able to still come out here and be able to leave a sizable impact still says a lot about what our community is. If we all come together and do a little bit, we can all do a lot of it, especially when it comes down to the next generation. We have to do a better job of making sure the next generation is where they need to be at.
We're here excited to be able to support him and his vision to be able to impact the local community. So we're here distributing backpacks. We're here also distributing food items as well and some giveaways. So we're here and just so very happy to be able to support James and the impact that he's having on the community.
Yeah, shout out to Christy on Sports and Philanthropy. That was again, she always does a great job helping me with the events and whatnot. Pretty hard to work with when it comes time to all of those different things. Another successful give back weekend. We had Orlando, Tallahassee. We just finished up Jacksonville this past weekend. The only person who was upset with the work was how it went was me. but most of the people don't even understand what's going on. So like that you would have never known. I know. But 7 years of doing that, anybody can have an idea. A lot of people can make flyers. Anybody could do something once. But like doing it for 7 years in a row, that's crazy. Just being able to see how many families got help, all these different things. Just kids walked into school today because today was the first day of school. So shout out to everybody in Jacksonville area who had to do drop-offs. I was able to do that. House is quiet. It's going to be weird for a little bit, but then I'm going to enjoy it. I could do absolutely whatever I want to do. I can go sleep. Just a lot of cool things to be able to be done with this, but with the kids going back to school. I think Tallahassee starts on Tuesday, and some other places start on Wednesday. But man, that's so funny. I got an FSU fan. She's dropping off school supplies. The event happened over the weekend, but we're gonna still get it done. I appreciate her. But yeah, so like just the impact, I get a lot of stuff gets thrown at me. I earn it. I wear it well. But I always joke with people. I say you can question my delivery, you can question my attitude or how I talk about things. You can even question the methods, but when you do something for 7 years, you cannot question the work. She was dropping off school supplies. Yeah, she was a Seminole fan. That's cool. You can just put them down. Like, I mean, I'll find a way. I'll get those to somebody. Like, but but that was very kind of her to be able to do that. I mean, one thing you can't question is my ability to get white people active in the hood. I think my ancestors, when I don't know what's up there and I don't know what's down there, but I do believe that there's an ancestral plane, and they're gonna love the fact that I get white people active. Last year we had white people looking like they was in a coat, like the old school lines where you were having people have to break down, bag up product. That's what they were doing with the backpacks last year. And then this year, just how many I can get to actually get active and do different things. But I really appreciate everybody who donated and gave something. Let's continue to reinvest and one of the things, let's not wait till somebody makes it if they're trying to do an impact. I didn't just do this on my own. Like I did, there was the Comeback Kids that I donated a couple hundred book bags to for their book bag drive. Matter of fact, I think I might have been the only book bags that they had at their book bag drive. But they did a lot of great work. Just all of the other different things that have been motivated since then. I just love it. We wait to like the government, the taxes, they should do some shit. Schools and corporations should do some shit. But like at the end of the day, you can wait with your hand out, or you can try to get a hand, or you can try to give people a hand up. So that's all I got to say about that until next year and all the other bullshit that I got going on with the MFTK Foundation. Is all football related now. So the funny thing about that, Jaden, we got the schedule posted up. That schedule is old now. But no, keep it up. I can just tell you where the adjustments are going to get made. We are Trey, man, the first two games are legit. Bay Area Jags come to us. So I'm not going to be in Tampa on Labor Day weekend. We will be in Jacksonville doing our Thug Dizzle. And Progress Village Panthers, PVP, we will no longer be playing them. We're playing West Boynton. So I'm going November 19th. I'm going down south to Boynton Beach to play somebody down that way. Still looking for kids. I just want them to be able to play. That's it. If they can play, they ain't got to pay. It's on your boy. It's on Big Game. So we're trying to still continue to get the roster. But like, at the end of the day, I don't care what position they play. I'm looking for dogs. That's it. That's the position that I'm trying to get these kids to understand. You're 13 fucking years old. You play dog. Like, I need to be able to put you in front of somebody and see that you put them on their back, regardless of what it is. I need to see if you got some bite. I don't care how hard you bite. I just got to see that you bite. We can work on everything else after that. You either a dog or you a puppy. That's it. Dogs respond to competition. Dogs don't duck. And I'm not even just talking about the kids. I'm talking about the coaches. You can only impart what you are, period. We got a bunch of grown men yelling and fussing, trying to act like they dogs when they really just some grown-ass puppies too. I need you to be able to go out there, and I need you to be able to talk. Puppies want things given to them. Puppies want comfort. Dogs are going to be a dog, and they're going to hunt regardless. And that's what I want. Like, this is competitive football. We playing some cats. So if you got somebody that you think, and we're going to be on the scene, if you got somebody that you think is good, then bring their ass on. But if you're not, then this ain't the space for you. This is not a safe space. We are going to the fire. But that being said, it should be fun. Should be fun. But yeah, so like we got we play our game. Our first game will be on Saturday against Treyman Elite in Gainesville. Oh, it's Citra, which I believe is like Ocala, Florida, and I think we play at 3:30. So hopefully that game will get kicked off and we'll be out that thing getting active. So that's that. So on to the next.
James, FSU just capped off their camp sessions here in the glorious city of Jacksonville, and a lot of people have been saying this one particular player's name over and over again. That is the freshman who just came from Chaminade, Mr. Lopez. And you got to see the viral catch for yourself, James. You saw a lot of other things as well, noticing that FSU camp. But James, what did you like in your opinion? What can you say? What can you reveal from what you saw from FSU and that program when they came to Jacksonville?
Overall, they're a lot more fit than what they have been in the past. And they look the part. They look like they belong. So just seeing those guys, there's some big bodies. There's some guys who stood out and made some plays. That young man Lopez being one of them. Really, really good football player, competitive. Getting people active. Hold on. I'm gonna go round and round and back and forth. I didn't just like Lopez. I liked Devlin as well. Carter. Both of those guys were looking good. Lopez isn't very tall. But he is jacked. He's explosive. He's hard to be able to guard. He's going to be somebody that can create mismatches. Carter is a little bit more your prototypical wide receiver. He's about between that 5'11", 6 foot range. Very explosive. I liked what I saw from those guys when they went against the twos. The wide receivers that will go out will be your Gelsey, will be Deuce, and you'll have Makai. Those are three really, really good wide receivers. One with Deuce being the one that's the most productive. Makai coming with some production from last year, and Gelsey being your number 3. Everybody thinks that you're going to just have 3 number 1 wide receivers, 3 1,000-yard wide receivers, and that unless you got LSU, unless you got some other particular talents, that's not the case. But these guys present a bunch of different matchup problems, and you mix in, was it Giles Osorio, the tight end that went to University Christian from, I believe, Eastern Carolina, kind of reminds me of a bigger version of what we've had at the H-back the last couple of years. And Mike Norvell's offense seems to do very, very well with we'll call it an H-back, but Mike, go ahead and just get a goddamn fullback. That's really how you get your thing rolling. If you want to win, be serious about shit. Get you a goddamn fullback. And that's really kind of what we're seeing when it comes to the offense. We saw physicality. The defense won on Thursday. Offense won on Friday in more of the situational scrimmage. And that's something that's not bad. You want to see it go back and forth. Iron sharpens iron. I saw a lot of competitiveness, a lot of good stuff. I saw catches being made. I saw some bad decisions. I can see where the things come with Ashton that are frustrating. I don't know if those were things that were being dictated by the practice and we wanted that stuff to happen, or if that was just something that was just his game. But he's a risk taker. So is Malik, number one, the one who reminds me of James Blackman. He's a risk taker. I saw the DBs look pretty impressive at times. There's still not enough separation, and I don't know if that's just because of what we do, if that's route schemes, if that's we just don't have that kind of playmaker. But I saw a lot of tough contested catches, which lead me to believe that we could be better. Is that me telling you? And also, I don't know if you saw it, Jaden, but we have our version of Groundhog Day here in the Den Media Group space. My son, Trey Coleman, has gone to every one of these Jacksonville practices. He's gotten taller now. He's damn near tall as Mike. We can tell it's like Groundhog Day. Like, what is it when it comes out? Like, you can get 5 more days of winter or some shit like that. When Trey smiles, Florida State has been good under Mike Norvell. And can we blow that picture up? You guys tell me, what does it do? Is that a smile or is that like a grimace? Like, I'm trying to evaluate this. Or is that like one of those fake smiles? Is that like a I'm happy to be here smile? Because if that is, then Florida State fans, fuck all your X's and O's and bump all of the other different things. That's what you look for. He smiled at 10-3. He smiled at 13-1. He did not smile last year. He did not smile in 21. He didn't smile. Every year Trey's with Coach Norvell and he smiles. That's when we know Florida State may be good. Now, he's gone to every one of these, and he actually had he was pretty impressed. He also can be bribed. Trey had a whole assortment of FSU gear that he left with. Those players hooked him up, and we're going to hope the best for him. But if anybody has any questions about it, it's probably best to direct those that way. But I will say they can play. You have the Lopez catch, right? But let's go ahead and watch that. And this is good coverage, great ball placement. This is 2s on 2s, though. So this isn't 1v1. So sometimes you can't take too much credit in it. Like, that was crazy to watch in real life. He had 4 touchdowns in the red zone, by the way. He was getting active. But we're not going to crown him and anything like that. But the biggest defense, I believe, is too deep. Offense, I don't believe. Offense, the only thing, we don't have the depth on the offense that I would like Florida State to have, that Florida State traditionally has, which could be a problem if you get hurt. But the goal is to not get hurt. Your starters are your starters for a reason most of the time. So, you don't want your number ones going down. So, offensive line, like I said, I liked a lot of this stuff. I like the nastiness. I can't even tell y'all this. The Wildcat packages are wild. I'll put that out there. I didn't see enough. Well, they did do the money downs, and that's when the defense was really whooping their ass. So, if the defense does something funky that I really, really like in certain situations, that I think if he was being smart, that's probably should be their primary defense. But we'll get into defense a little bit more. I don't know what others. Did we have other clips from FSU's practice too, Jaden?
That's the only clip I had in the notes.
I wanted to kind of go through just some of the different things that I saw play by position by position. The quarterback. It's clearly Ashton Daniels' team. So, anybody who's telling you that the other quarterbacks have a chance, stop it. That's not. It's his. It's his. You can see spurts of other stuff. But like you can clearly see that this is Ashton's team. And Ashton has a good command. I like his energy. Again, like I said previously, there are just some things that he may do. But again, I don't know if that was scripted or not. That could have been just like, hey, when you're scrambling, throw it up. Sometimes you build your defense up by letting them go make a play on the ball. And that's what we got to avoid, the catastrophic plays. If FSU cannot turn it over, you'll be really, really good. Just think about last year and how many how many games we went in and we led. Like we spotted teams' points. You can't spot Virginia 2 touchdowns. You can't play with your food when you're playing against Stanford. You can't do a lot of these different things. And there was that was another good catch by I'm about to call him Teofimo Lopez. That's the only Lopez I could think of in sports. But that's a boxer. But like you got guys who can make plays, get the ball up to your playmakers. But what I will say is when it's all said and done, these boys will use their legs. They have no problem using their legs to be able to extend plays, to be able to do different things. And I think in the situations, can you get us to, on second down, can you get us to 3rd and 2 as opposed to 3rd and 15 because you got sacked? That would be something that I would love to be able to see, and I would love to be able to see if he can make those throws consistently down the middle of the field. Your playmakers, I'm still trying to figure out, outside of Deuce, who is the guy, like the jersey guy. Usman, Osama bin running, look the part. He's a big guy. He's fast. Believe it or not, and I told you guys this a little bit, old boy from Texas did not strike me as a SEC back, but Sam Singleton, shout out to the First Coast own, number 3. In your media guys, number 1 in your heart if you're from the 904. He looked good at times. And he's big, explosive back. I think that from what I gathered, that would be my 1-2 punch, but I haven't watched all the practices. Don't know why people were being held out. Don't know what the different things. I just like those two at running back in Jacksonville. This is right now still, though, this is just a good team. It's not great because, see, good teams have players. Great teams have problems. And Deuce is becoming a problem to defenses. I'm not 1,000% sure, though, that we have that guy that just collectively we say he's going to make a play. But we also went 13-1 with Keon Coleman being our tough catch guy, but never breaking away. And he's still only having, like, I think under 800 yards. So we haven't had a guy I don't think Mike Norvell's had that guy. If I'm being frank. But I think the closest thing we've had to it is Deuce Robinson. And I think Usman, if that offensive line can continue to be great, will be a guy that presents that. The defense, obviously we got that 3 down. The Twins are nice. Saw a lot of good Twin. He's in his natural position. He's gotten bigger. But Bad Twin is a menace. Bad Twin is showing every reason why he was a freshman All-American. Should be really, really good coming back. I like 96. 88 is the young man that didn't practice for us in the spring, but is doing well. Just the size on the D-line, goes. Chris Jones, number 10, like that's the statement. Like Chris Jones is the Jermaine Johnson, the Jared Verse, the transfer that comes in that gives us that spark, the guy that how did somebody not recruit this kid like here originally? How did, what is going on? Like, why are we like, this is just like he leads it. And believe it or not, even though it is about time this guy should be this good. He's been there since I was in college. And that's Graham. Omar Graham did look the part. Iggy Azalea, I forgot whatever the boy's name is. He was he got a chance to get a little bit more reps. I like that. I did like that part as well. DBs are good. They're getting more comfortable in that cover 3 look, thinking less, reacting more. Did I talk about Rouse? I like Rouse. Rouse is going to be that guy. I believe that H that Coach Norvell loves to use in the past. So the coaching staff's know to be different. Nick Williams is Nick Williams is I don't really know how else to say it. Like not bad either. Like I'm not a rah guy. You ain't got to do all that fucking yelling at me. Nick is high energy. Nick is like, I don't know if he found, like, because again, Nick was at Syracuse, right? And we all know the Syracuse coach ain't like that. That's a hood mofo. But Nick is kind of like giving Black Mike Norvell energy. With like that high energy, yelling, all that other stuff doing. Like, that's just not my cup of tea. But that's okay. I drink coffee. So like, I get it. Odell was good. I did see something that I did not like. Now, this is just me being critical, curmudgeon, mustache Pete, old school player. And I'm sure those old heads said the same shit about us when I was playing. Do the up, down, or don't. Like all this, like I seen Odell, this is for you. You have personally made me do about 500 more up downs because of the effort that I gave. That's just not, that ain't Bobby Bowden-esque era up downs. Like that was some, I'm going to get through it because you're telling me to do it. Which also, players, if you're going to do it, do it. It doesn't feel better when you don't move your feet faster. It doesn't make you hit the ground. Hitting the ground softer doesn't help either. Man, just do the shit. Make the noise and let the motherfuckers get off. Get on. Like, like you got to do that. Because then coaches feel like you're doing something. But the coaches, they weren't giving me nothing out of the up downs. That made me a little nervous, but I'm going to just take that as it was hot as fuck. Everybody was ready to get back to the dorms or whatnot. So, all in all, I liked what I saw with FSU. You might not like what you saw with FSU. Get your own podcast. That's got nothing to do with me. I still give, I have hope. I told you guys before, take the over on the wins. And then make sure you give me a donation of book bags once you win.
We got a tailgate to talk about, James. So we got this post right here, courtesy of Freddie Stevenson, about the tailgate on Labor Day. And this going to be on September 7th. Kickoff is going to be at 7:30 p.m. But the tailgate is going to be at Lot 19 near Doak Campbell Stadium. Talk about this Labor Day tailgate, the FSU versus SMU tailgate.
Well, right now, me, Freddie Stevenson, CJ Wilson, we got this going on. We're about to start announcing the list of players who are saying they're coming to the tailgate. We should have Red Bull sponsoring it. We'll have a couple other people there. It's just going to be 3. And we're also going to be doing a live podcasts from the tailgate day of. So like, you want to make sure you come out, want to make sure you check it out. Lots of food, lots of beverage, lots of cool stuff going on. Support the cause. And you know, just a lot of different things that will be going on. Go to the Ticket Tailor to check it out. Right now the prices are reasonable. Once we get into September, we're going to jack the prices back up because you had all time to do that. But like, make sure you check it out. Come to the game, top of Lot 19. We've been doing this at the top of Lot 19 since 2018, Tag's first game. If you don't know where the fuck Lot 19 is at by this point, brother, that's on you. Like, it is literally across from the soccer. I cannot give you more precise pinpoint location. It's behind the med school, like all kinds of different things. Just get here. That's all. That's all you gotta do. Get there, pay the money, have a good time, vibe. If you're not into having good times, don't come hang around with us. Or just jump off the top of lot 19. All in all, we are expecting to have a good turnout. And what's going on? Normally I don't talk on Twitter. You know this, ma'am, but Thickums, Candle Lady. Let's put her up on there. She put, yo, ma'am, could you please bring that 5'11", 200 pound frame to the YouTube comment section, please, ma'am. If you don't mind, we're gonna acknowledge you and seeing your handsome son. He's getting taller. Kudos to them. Hope baseball's going well. Just let us know when you're ready to try to help FSU's offensive line and defensive line woes for the class of, what would you do right now if it was 18? What are we in 2026 to the class of 2044? You could be a great part of the rebuilding process. We will be good hopefully by then. Oh, speaking of kids, shout out to Adrian. Can we put her on there? She put the little laughing thing. Adrian 76333. She is officially now a glam mom. She's a GILF. Is what they want. Not me just saying, isn't that what the grandma, like MILFs or moms? I guess now when you get older, it kind of sucks when you get older, like, because now you're realizing like you're old. But she's got she's just introduced into the world. I think it's a girl, yeah, baby girl, a little girl. Her middle son did not join the group of men who shot up the club. And hit a victim. So like now he could not stop the microwave at 0.01 seconds, and now she is a grandmother. Congratulations to Adrian. Now that we were talking about that, so Seminole Nation, we just picked up another fan. Yeah. So on to guys who probably should, just again, if he wins, I'm in. That's all I'm saying. Definitely a guy we talked about on the show. Not necessarily sure if he's a fan of the show, but the show created him. Notable Gator Darren Heitner will sue anybody. And that is the agent, part of Thomas Castellanos' crew. Former Florida State quarterback. They could not say Boston College quarterback, but whatever. Former quarterback from Florida State quarterback Thomas Castellanos is filing a lawsuit against the NCAA. Castellanos is seeking an injunction for a 5th year to enter the transfer portal. Everybody knows that they have just now made new rules to be able to allow players to be able to get their 5th year. The problem is they did not do anything to change the rules in order for you to be able to hit the transfer portal. All of the transfer portal rules remain the same. So like you still have all of those things where you have to you still have to go report back to your school. The problem is the schools have moved on. Does the school want you? I'll tell you this, what I saw in UNF, he does not fit that culture. I saw a lot of people calling each other out. I saw a lot of guys pushing each other. He doesn't fit the quarterback room because he would look like one of the athletic trainers compared to the guys in this quarterback room now. And he's not, I'm not sure how shifty or athletic he is to be able to go play wide receiver because he wouldn't stand like he's not Lopez. And he hasn't practiced. I still don't know why we brought him in. I don't hate him as a person. I just hate what he did to us or what he didn't do. Win. But he's suing so that he gets another opportunity to go be able to play for another program. But what program will take you right now that isn't on the, I don't know, like the lower end of the totem pole? Like, go live your life. You got paid last year, brother. Start the workforce. Go become an insurance salesman. Finish your degree or something. Go work. Or get ready for Arena. Get ready for the USFL or all the other different leagues. Go over to Europe and get ready to play. I'm not telling you to hang up your cleats. I'm just telling you to not try to wear any more in college. That's just my opinion. But you go find somebody who believes in you so much so that by the time you end up litigating all of this, you're going to spend a little bit of money that you had in surplus. You know, every time you go to trial, you got to pay. You got to pay to get it on the docket. That's why I told somebody. Somebody said something. They made up some things. They said, "I'm going to sue you." I said, "Cool. I'm not going to talk to you anymore." When people say they're going to get the law on me, I tell them, "Great." He can't even go across the tracks. He's not like they're good. He going to EWU. But I like EWU's quarterback. He was from across the tracks. He was from FAMU. He's here now. Like, I'm trying to figure out where he would help. Side note, real quick question. What position group at Florida State are you the most excited about? And what position group do you believe needs to be overly successful in order for Florida State to be able to take that next step? Because believe it or not, the success, the more I look into it, Florida State was with Thomas Castellano. So I want you to realize this. Can we, because I know we got something else we're going into, pull up FSU's 2005 schedule? Because again, I say these things off of memory, and I want to make sure that I'm correct. Like, I want to make sure I'm coming correct. Because they went 5-7. And we saw a 10-win team, multiple 10-win teams, go to the college football playoff. Yeah, 25. I said 25, my bad. All right, so blow this up real quick. No, Londa puts Tommy can be my get-back coach. I don't want him on the sideline. All right, so we're going to disregard the Miami game, and we're going to put context into the Florida game. So Miami and Clemson, I'm saying we had absolutely no chance to win those games. We were never in control of those games by any stretch of the imagination. You don't spot, well, one, Deuce catches the ball, you're fine. You don't spot Virginia 2 touchdowns. You win that game, hypothetically speaking, 38-32. It would have probably been different, but you would have won that game. You would have lost to Miami per how things were going. You don't play with your food against Pitt. You beat Pitt. So now what are you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. You're 5-1 going into Stanford where you play with your food again. So you're 6-1. You beat Wake Forest. You're 7-1. You lose to Clemson. You're 7-2. You beat North Carolina State. You are now 8-2. Why do I feel like we're missing a game here somewhere? I did in bad math. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, my bad. Skip Virginia Tech. We skipped it. So my bad. You beat NC State with your offense just stalled out. You're 9-2. Going into a Florida game, now that means something. Like, it didn't mean anything going into that. It just meant that you were ready to go home. You're going to go play in a bullshit bowl or you're going to go home. You could have beat Florida. You beat fucking Alabama's ass. You could have definitely beat Florida. I just showed you, but the craziest part in all of that, you're a 2-loss ACC team. You're probably competing to be in the ACC championship. So stop this shit, Florida State fans, where you're doing the woe is me shit. They need to play better and you need accountability. And Mike does need to demand that in the tough games, these guys come through. But I'll be damned if you guys keep all of this dumb. Like, Miami went to the damn national championship limping into the goddamn college football playoff with 10 wins. I just showed you 5 wins. that aren't out of the realm of possibility of winning. If the ball bounces a different way, you win it. Stop the defeatist attitude. It's not, I promise you, it will not make them pick on you less. And actually, looking at some of these numbers for Thomas, like 254, 272, 245, like I don't know what the completion percentage that he was spinning that bitch though. Like those aren't bad numbers. All I'm saying is, and one of the things, and that's from a midget who couldn't see the middle of the field, couldn't see over the line. If Ashton comes in and gives you something similar to what Thomas is, but you don't, but with less turnovers and you're moving the ball, you could be mightily excited about the FSU football season. You're not excited about their recruiting. Yes, I get it. Miami is, goddamn, Miami seems to have nothing but 5 stars right now. But that's been like that for a minute, and they still can't get past 10 wins. And they still lost to an Indiana team who doesn't recruit remotely as well as they do. And I'm not a 3-star with heart guy. Don't get me wrong on that. Don't get me started on that shit. I want some good players. But it's not as bad as what you think it is. All right. So now we can move on to the next thing. I just wanted to make sure that I'm not crazy. Because I'm not. I know fucking ball.
Akron's football suites are now sold out for the first time in program history, according to Front Office Sports. This is on the back of the viral play calling promotion for season ticket holders. The offer includes a pregame press conference, being mic'd up with the headset and a play sheet, and being in the coach's box during the game. Several sports personalities have taken part in the promotion, and Akron athletic department leaders are scheduled to appear on the Pat McAfee Show and ESPN Radio on Thursday. This post was made on August 6th as popularity continues to grow.
I mean, it's a way to get people involved and active, and the price isn't that bad. Everybody just think like it's the same reason why Nebraska. People tell me why Nebraska games sell out all the time. There's nothing to do. Well, what the fuck you think this is doing Akron? Yeah. Like go to drive to Cleveland to be depressed. But if I knew I could pay $2,000 to call some plays for the potential, I'm gonna go pay the $2,000. They ain't got shit out. College football, this is why I keep telling people like sports is going down, the viewership and blah, blah, recession-proof business. People are going to invest. Rome needs her gladiators. When the economy's going down, I'll be afraid is when people stop paying for their kids to play sports. Mamas is still giving up ass. Like, remember the thing we showed like a little while ago? I think it was a comedian, but she said she ate the basketball coach's ass and he's married for her son to make the team and she still got cut. People still going to do that. You might not be able to afford Gen Pop, but I'm going to put my kids in the varsity club. I'm going to pay for suites. Aren't paid by individuals typically. They're paid by corporations. And corporations use those to be able to woo potential buyers and potential clients. So as long as there's a Saturday and ain't nothing to do, people are going to go find something to do. And I think this just makes it in line. And this is why I get mad about the book bag drives. A college football fan will tell you how broke they are, but they'll buy 4 tickets, a parking pass, a hotel room, and a brand new fucking fit to go to the game. And that's not including buying from the food trucks. Going to a feel-good store. Crackheads make the world go round. They give the best advice. And they're some of the most genuine people. Have you ever not met there's some angry crackheads, but I love the wholesome crackheads. And there's no one that's a more wholesome crackhead than Michael Irvin. Go ahead and tell us about the story.
So, Playmaker went all out, according to DraftKings, with a custom RV for Mark Fletcher's Jr.'s mom, who only drives to road games due to a fear of flying.
Pause. Zoom in on the bottom.
I do not think that's the same lady. I noticed her as well, but I don't think it's the same lady. But
Okay.
shout out to
Red
Playmaker.
sister or
Yeah, I'm not too sure who this is, but I know
okay,
on
because I'm about to say that's Mark Fletcher's mom. Okay, that's Mark Fletcher's mom. She's still she got a little. Yeah, that lady doesn't have any stomach. Mark Fletcher's mom, I got a little bit. It's okay. Mark Fletcher's mom, is a still you know she's a I don't want my fams coming at me, dog. Like I'm not saying, I'm just saying that one's different than the other. I'm about to say I can see why Playmaker tried to drop a little bit of change, even though he didn't pay his own money for this. But you say she's afraid to fly?
Yep, so she drove to all the road games Miami had while Mark Fletcher's been playing. So now she's going to be driving to those road games in style with this custom Miami RV.
She's flying to San Francisco? I mean, she's driving to San Francisco? Or Palo Alto, where Stanford is? Wow. That is that's some dedication, Mom. But the cool thing is this. See, this Florida State. Pay attention. Playmaker has a checkered past. Playmaker is the one they still put in the forefront. I know for a fact Playmaker didn't reach to his own goddamn pockets to give this to her, but he probably was able to be the face to where it looks like the former players are connected to the current players and helping meet a need to one of their best players, which in turn helps recruiting. It gives the perception that it's money over here. So you went and you helped get the mom. So you brought in the relationships. You show what the culture is about this, and this is what the U does. The former embraces the latter. You involve the parents. It's not just you, it's your entire family that's a part of it. That is a selling point. Kudos to the lion-ass Cuban for that. And because, again, as parents are getting more involved from the youth ball level all the way through college, the pros, it's not going anywhere. You have to be able to make sure that you keep these people happy. And especially when it doesn't really cost you too much, it doesn't go outside of the realm of possibilities. So I think this is a cool little thing. They're probably going to make this into like a YouTube series. They're going to do all kind of shit. But I'm flying. I'm sorry, but I do want an RV, though. I can see myself when Trey, I'm already having the conversations about, about Trey with some coaches. It was kind of cool yesterday. It's surreal. And I'm like, the motherfucker ain't made a play yet. Let's just calm down right now. But I may try to get a little RV action. I ain't like, if he playing anywhere past 10 hours or I got to drive up a mountain, I'm not going. But but outside of that, I will fly though.
Let's take a look at some of the most historic coaches of all time, the coaches with the most conference wins in each P4 conference, meaning the regular season plus the conference championship games. And this is courtesy of CFB Tracker on Twitter. So let's take a look at some familiar names and some crazy resumes. So first things first, we have on the left, going to make sure the screen is shared. Got you. Want to make sure it's on the screen. Bear Bryant with Alabama and Kentucky with 159 conference wins representing the SEC. Then representing the Big Ten, you have Woody Hayes getting 153 conference wins with Ohio State. Then for the Big 12, you have Bob Stoops, 128 conference wins. And for the ACC to round out your P4 conferences, Dabo with 123 conference wins, 5 behind Bob Stoops. Hoping to take Bob Stoops over in terms of the most with only 5 behind this season.
The crazy thing is just what made these men really good coaches and able to do this? What did they outdo in their respect, that their peer outdo over their peers during those respective times? Recruiting was a big part of it. We all talk about how the little known Black history fact about how Bear Bryant might have been the most influential man in the civil rights history. Like, he's rolling over, he's looking at us from hell because he probably still went there. Mad that they're trying to roll back some of the very things that he fought for in order to have a better football team. Like, it wasn't because of the greatness of his heart. Once he found out that colors were actually superior on the field in certain aspects, he needed to get some more colors. But recruit, development, scheme, and wins. What will this list look like in 10 years? Because what do you have to do now? You still got to recruit. You still got to develop. Still got to scheme. Still got to win. But now you have to manage the NIL. You have to manage agents. You have to manage the collective and the boosters more. You got to manage the transfer portal. And then you got to recruit your own goddamn roster. You have to continue to recruit. It's like you got to love on that woman. You got to be Jaheim. You got to put that player first, all while trying to get other players because everybody else is trying to get them. We know Nick Saban walked out. I personally think Bobby would have flourished in this culture. But what do you think? Do you think these four coaches, Miles, anybody else want to come in? Would these four coaches be successful in today's era? Well, one of them's kind of flirting with it, and he's actually been kind of neutralized. He's kind of like right there, good enough to just be there, but like he can't step over like Kirby. He can't get over Kirby. He can't get over some of these other guys who have more things. But would the old school coaches flourish in today's system? That's the question that needs to be asked. Yeah. But we can go ahead and go for it.
Shout out to all the coaches on that list, and shout out to all the coaches who are gonna be on that list for the future to come. Now, James, we are at the NFL section of the show, and things have been heating up in the NFL world. A lot of people have been getting paid. A lot of news stories and updates have been coming up from camp with some scuffles between notable players, and we got some more things to discuss as well. But, we like to start off with Duval's team first and foremost, and let's get into some statistics courtesy of Michael Duraco. So he's been keeping track of Travis Hunter's 11-on-11 snap tracker for the fans out there wondering if Liam Cohen and company are really going to be pushing Travis Hunter to play a majority of snaps on that defensive side of the ball. And we got the numbers right here. So this post was made yesterday at 11:45 a.m. So you had the day 10 snaps, 20 total for Travis, 12 on defense, 8 on offense, which brings his total snaps for his 11-on-11 snap tracker to 143, with 88 on defense and 55 on offense. He had a leaping interception of Lawrence's pass to Washington at the goal line, and play appeared to be a sack. Gardeck was among players around Lawrence before the throw. But some other notable names I have been hearing rumblings from the Jaguars camp are Brian Thomas Jr., specifically on the offensive side of the ball, and Parker Washington has still been turning heads as well. But James, you can see the total snap count for Travis Hunter in his split: 88 on defense, 55 on offense. What do you think about Travis Hunter and how his snap counts are going to correlate to his play on the field this upcoming season, looking to rebound from last season?
It looks like they're going to have him as a primary 1 or 2 corner, and that's going to be his thing, and they're going to package him into the offense and selectively put him in situations and scenarios that would be to his success, which is smart, which is like, what people should have done last year. Maybe he wouldn't have got hurt. But I think he has the ability to be able to do whatever. We just have to make sure he stays healthy and he understands what's happening to him. Because the other side of playing both sides, starting When do you get coached up? When do you get better? You can't. So like a lot of times people are just enamored with this idea that, oh, I'm just gonna play both sides like I've always done, when there's a lot more X's and O's and intelligence that has to be put into the game than what has ever been before. So you can't just play. You just can't do that. Like you have to be able to, you know, there's more that goes into that. Troy Brown, Dion, a lot of others.
Shout out to the Jags as we continue to progress on through the camp, through this off season, and looking forward to seeing the bright and big plays from some of the best players on our squad, and even some of the players who's looking to make a name for themselves on that offense, defense, and special teams. So super excited to see what this Jaguars team has in store. And fun fact for all of my Jaguars fans out there, Liam Cohen and company are looking to do something historic, because since the year 2000, the Jaguars have never had back-to-back 10-plus win seasons. So hopefully the Jaguars are going to rewrite history since 2000, and I think they definitely will. So shout out to the Liam Cohen era of the Jags. And speaking of team records, we're going to come back to that because USA Today predicted each team's record. So we're going to put a pin in that conversation. But James, you know we have to do our guess that NFL player. And if I had to put a difficulty on this one, it is definitely a challenge, because this one might be a sleeper for everybody. But if you're a real ball knower, you might know this player. So from 2014, 2017 was a Niner. He was a Brown for 1 year, and he was a Jag that same year. Then he transitioned to the AFC South rival, the Houston Texans, went to the Seahawks for 1 year, and finally finished his career off as a Jaguar. So everybody in the chat, and James, let's guess this NFL player.
San Fran. That's what I'm trying to think. Okay. He was good at one point and then he wasn't. Like he gave those 3 years. Those 3 years in San Fran was like, if I'm the hard part is the Texans to the Seahawks. The Jags to the Texans part I know Carlos Hyde was here. That's the only person I could go with.
It is Carlos Hyde. It is Carlos Hyde.
I didn't know he went to the Seahawks.
Yes, I will pull up his stats, and he does not have any Pro Bowl selections in his career. I know somebody asked about that in the chat, but that is a great pull, James. Great pull. This is his stats right here. So his best season in terms of touchdowns was 2017 and San Francisco with 8 touchdowns. So you can see right here, that's when he had the most tutties in his career. But shout out to Carlos Hyde, and shout out to you, James, for getting that sleeper. That definitely was a hard one to get. So shout out to you for that one, for sure. That was a good pull. But you can see his stats right here. His most successful season in terms of yards was actually in Houston with 1,070. So shout out to Carlos Hyde, the Ohio State running back. So shout out to him And speaking of running backs, James, I chose that one on purpose because running backs have been getting paid. So it first kicked off with the recent Jeremiah Love guaranteed money situation in terms of the draft, and that shook the running back value to the max. And he still has the most guaranteed money in terms of being a running back. But we got two more guys who gotten paid, and we're gonna go in chronological order for this one. The first, one of the newer running backs get paid, was an AFC South rival who was killing last year and many years before.
Did he get booted? Yeah. I was just like, yeah. I'm about to say, damn, now I'm on edge. Who was it?
Yeah, I thought it was another quiz.
Yeah, I'm about to, yeah, that was funny. Yeah, like now we got to go see.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, I don't know what happened right there, but sorry about that, guys, to leave y'all off a cliff. But it is the AFC South rival running back, Jonathan Taylor. I'm waiting on this Adam Schefter post to load so we can give you guys the details, and we got it right here. Sorry about that, y'all. But we got another big deal. So the 3-time Pro Bowl running back Jonathan Taylor, the Colts reached an agreement on a 2-year, $44 million extension worth up to $47 million. That includes $39 million guaranteed. So he is a part of first round management, and the Colts have finalized a deal with their RB1. So shout out to him. And shortly after that, James, we got word of Jahmyr Gibbs getting a payday as well, the Detroit Lions running back. So we're going to share this tab with you, and let's take a look at these numbers because he is our Money Moves segment winner of the day. So also a 3-time Pro Bowl selection. Jahmyr Gibbs and the Lions reached an agreement on a 3-year, $67.5 million deal that could be worth up to $75.75 million and includes $51.5 million guaranteed, which now makes him the highest paid running back in the NFL. So let's take a look at these numbers as well. In terms of the highest paid running backs in the NFL by new money average per year, Jahmyr Gibbs is at the top of this list with $22.5 million. And then Bijan is shortly behind him with $22.25 million. Jonathan Taylor with 22, Saquon, CMC, Devon Achane, Derrick Henry, and Breece Hall. But now the running back market is going up and up. And Jahmyr Gibbs, congratulations to you on becoming the NFL's highest paid running back with your new contract. So shout out to Jahmyr Gibbs.
I mean, this is crazy. Running backs went from having Zoom meetings about how we're getting screwed to like now everybody's getting paid. Like everybody's getting their bread. And it's crazy. People are like, what's going on? What's the resurgence in the running back position? We need a Saquon to be able to show that you can have longevity. Derrick Henry is in, his alien mode. But it goes back to something that you've heard me say here over and over and over again. It doesn't take a lot to win in life. It doesn't take a lot to win in football. It's the same thing. If you got good D and some top, that's all you need to win football. You'll win a lot in life. Some good D and top. That's it. Time of possession is key in the NFL. The only way you can generate time of possession consistently is to be able to run the ball and move the chains and get 3 to 4 yards a pop. These are all guys that can give you this. These are all guys who are a true weapon in all of these different things. It makes it also easier for your quarterback position. Let's go down and just do some football breakdown. We were doing this. I went and found the Trevor Lawrence clip not too long ago. I realized that was like damn near 3 years ago. But here's the facts. There are 11 people on a football field, right? You want to make sure there. So with that, you can there's only a couple different types of defense that you can run. You can run your 4-3, which is a 7-man front, put 7 people in the box, and that puts 4 people at the outsides. You can run your zones, you can run man coverages, but either way, if you have 5 wide receivers, you are now playing a numbers game. 5, just for those who don't know, 5 is more than 4. So that means you have to take one of your linebackers, you have to do this. If you got really good DB play, you don't have to you can cover it with that. But if you're getting scorched, you got to put them out. Now, this is where it also leaves you. When you have 7 people in the box, there are 5 offensive linemen. You may have a tight end that'll get you 6, but technically that could be a skill player. And you have a quarterback, which definitely just a quarterback alone automatically puts you at a disadvantage number if there are 7 in the box. How do we even this up? We have to be able to spread teams out. So now you have and that gives you, so when you go 4 wide look, that's when you get your traditional dime look. That's 4 down linemen and a linebacker. But if I'm running the ball effectively, I have to increase the box. So I have to bring more people here. And if I'm able to get 3 to 4 yards, that's giving me an advantage in the passing game. That's why this is worth $20 million. Because if $20 million lets my quarterback have to read, again, motherfucker ball, read less motherfuckers out there, my life is easier. So pay the people who are collision experts. It's turning out to be really, really good. I love it for these young men. The only one that doesn't make sense is Bijan, but I just think it doesn't make sense because that roster is bad.
Shout out to all the running backs who have been getting paid. And it's still crazy that with Jeremiah Love's 4-year, $53 million rookie contract, and he got all of that guaranteed. So he still gets the most guaranteed money as a running back. So, man, he still shifted that market for sure. He had a huge part to play along with the other names you mentioned, with the Saquons, with the Derrick Henrys, et cetera, et cetera. But the running back market is changing, and shout out to all the running backs who hoping to get that chicken. And James, we got a Hall of Fame game to touch up on right quick, because the Panthers beat the Arizona Cardinals 33-30, and there's some familiar names and faces in this game. But let's go and fast forward to the final play of the game with the familiar name, because we know about this guy because he's in our conference. He was the Georgia Tech quarterback, and now he's on the Panthers. He actually did get hurt after this play, which resulted in the Panthers signing another quarterback. But this quarterback's name is Haynes King, for anybody who isn't familiar with the Georgia Tech QB. This was the last play of the Hall of Fame game. You can see down below, 2 seconds left. The ball is at the 5-yard line, 3rd and goal. And let's see what Haynes King did to secure this game for the Panthers.
Game on the line. King, he's going to step up. Pumps, runs, goal line. Is he in? Yes! Carolina wins! Haynes King! King of the night!
And you know what? That's why I just love my football players playing gritty and anything. Like you said, he got hurt after that, right?
He did get injured. Yes, he did get injured. I will actually bring up the specific injury as of late, but I know the Panthers did report on it. So it's actually ironic, James, because the Carolina Panthers signed Kyle Trask as the 3rd quarterback with the Hall of Fame game hero. Haynes King now expected to miss time with a hamstring injury. So Kyle Trask is now that 3rd string QB for the NFC South Panthers.
I mean, shoot. We all know the petite pretty princess has got to be able to be the guy when it comes to that. But that I didn't watch the game. I watched some of the clips of it, some of the highlights, obviously because of Mandarin's own Carson Beck. But it seemed to be a good game. Exciting for preseason. I hope nobody bet that game, because you're a degenerate if you bet these kind of games.
So Carson Beck went 15 for 19, throwing for 188 yards, which gives him an average of 9.9 yards per completion with a touchdown under his belt. He did get sacked one time, however, and also for Haynes King, 21 to 34, 180 yards, 5.3 average per completion, 2 tutties under his belt as well. Corey Kenner of Arizona had a rushing touchdown as well. And shout out to Haynes King for getting the rushing touchdown to win the game. And AJ Dillon as well on getting some rushing tutties. And for the receivers, shout out to Simi Fehoko and Bryson Green, of Arizona, getting some receiving touchdowns, as well as Jasim Reed and Anthony Tyus III on getting some TDs. But a lot of Carolina Panthers fans were happy to see Jimmy Horn get some catch some passes, and get nearly 50 yards of receiving yards,
Semi Fehoko, right? I was in a group chat with his brother, Brandon. And he's the one who always makes some very wild. He was a practice squad player for the defensive lineman for the Pittsburgh Steelers and stuff for years. He said some wild stuff on the internet. But he's the one who I just quoted him the other day about Diego Pavia, saying that he was for Trump, and Brandon is for Trump as well. But he was like, "You about to be deported if you don't play well." And I was like, "That's a wild ass statement." But I was in that group chat, but that was the one where Tayshaun Reed was lying to the group chat talking about Sheena. So said my dog was out here sniffing people. I had to check him on that shit. I was like, "Hey, bro, like, dog, you ain't finna have." First, I had to ask Sheena just to make sure. You never know. You don't know anybody that well, right? Say, "Hey, man, nigga, you out here sniffing people, dog? What the fuck you mean, like sniffing? Like he's over here saying you said you just took a. You smell so good. I'm like, man, if you don't take your, he wears the dangly earrings with the cross. I think he tastes his words a little bit. I think he's trying to. But anyway, y'all remember Tayshaun used to do stuff for the FSU during the tag in Norvell's first year. But yeah, so but Carson, going back to Carson, forget the numbers, and this is what I just said on Sports Final last night. Forget the numbers and look at the operation. He moved that offense effectively, and that's what I've been telling everybody. 0 behind the line of scrimmage to 5 yards down the field is where the NFL game is being played. And that's what Carson had to be effective when his elbow was bothering him. Now his elbow's starting to get to full strength. He's able to push vertically, but he's still comfortable in that carving you effect range. This is scary because it means the Cardinals can now invest in getting some more talent around him and make themselves be able to have a playoff run, and then he will make his bread in that second contract. Mark my words, if that's what happens, if he continues to progress and continues to show this, he might be the starting quarterback for your Arizona Cardinals. And that's something that's big. That's a big time thing right there. So at worst, he'll be a competent. It's but always remember this, and I'm gonna make this a quote if we can. Preseason isn't about finding out who can play as much as it's about finding out who cannot play. And you know who we found out cannot play anymore? Haynes King. Sorry, man. Hey, brother. Can't get hurt. Drink some milk. Stop drinking that nut juice.
Speaking of not being able to play, James, man, we got some news coming from the Colts AFC South rival, because according to Evan Sidery, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right, Evan, if you listen to the show, the Colts have now demoted Anthony Richardson to third string QB. Richardson has mightily regressed and appears to be completely checked out after requesting an off-season trade, and he was the former number 4 overall pick, and he could now be a cut candidate before his 4th season even begins. I know you're an Anthony Richardson fan, James, so I know this must suck.
No, man got the bag. I am an AR fan as a person. I don't understand it. I didn't get it. I just knew everybody was talking about how much they were going to get him and how much he was going to change the franchise. I'm not a hater. I would have been moved on from that pick. He's never won and he's never finished an entire season going back to high school. He has all the physical measurements. There is no question for that. Can throw the ball country mile, big and physical, fast. What we don't know are the things that you can't read. I mean, it seems like he can't read. That's basically it. And his availability. It's the best ability is availability. Like, it's crazy. Like, yeah, I got popped out or some shit like that. Like, some of the things were freaky, but like, you got paid. When they don't give you he's not wrong for requesting a trade. When they brought in another guy and they don't pick up your 5th-year option at quarterback, you deserve to be able to get out of there. 4. This is his 4th year, but you have to pick up the 5th-year option before you start the year 4. And the way that the game is played with the money, you probably can give him as much time as you want to because it doesn't really cost you that much because you get the drafts is slotted. So it's not really costing you a ton of money. But we already knew he wasn't the guy once they did that. It was all the potential. And unfortunately, when it equals production, it goats you as a GM. But potential is one of those words that are weird because all potential, the definition of potential, what is, can we put up Merriam-Webster's definition of potential? Like, what does potential actually mean in real life before I go and give you the actual fucking definition of potential? Because potential means having the capacity to develop, achieve, or become something in the future. As a general word, it describes a hidden or unexpressed ability. In sports world, potential means you ain't did shit. And potential to get you fired. Potential gets you fired and makes somebody else become a reclamation project. And we don't even know if he could be a career backup. Because we don't know. Most of the career backups actually have the functioning and the capability to be able to move an offense if the desired quarterback is injured or just straight up with practice squad reps. And we're not even 100% sure AR can do that, which stinks. So hopefully if he's done some of the stuff that I know his people will have him do, he's got money socked away to make sure that he's straight. But man, this is hey, NFL comes to an end. Nobody cried for me when I couldn't play anymore.
Looks like Matt Crosby could not play during the Raiders training camp practice after he hit Kirk Cousins twice and things got exchanged. So tempers flared during the Raiders training camp practice on Friday when defensive end Max Crosby hit Kirk Cousins twice. The 15-year veteran had enough. Cousins got into Crosby's face, grabbing the All-Pros jersey while both exchanged words before it was broken up. Man, I can't imagine the scuffle between Max Crosby and Kirk Cousins. I did not see any video of the scuffle, but man, I just couldn't imagine seeing that play out in real time because that is the most unfair fight I could ever imagine. So crazy.
It just all depends on which one. They're having a measuring contest of who's the most important. Max Crosby, if he's playing at a high level, is a Pro Bowl defensive end, and I need to be crazy. I'll take his level of crazy. Kirk Cousins is a guy who's a veteran who I know knows how to run the offense. Just don't have him and Max going at the same time. Have him go over there, practice his cadence and some shit. Pat and goes.
The lineman should have jumped on Max.
That lets you know how they feel about Kirk.
Ain't no way he let the DN who was almost traded Thrasher QB.
Hey man, fights happen in camp. Our guy got in a fight up in Cleveland, and people are wondering what's going on with Jared Verse, and I'm like, bitch, I'm in Cleveland.
Yeah,
I was in LA. There is no other reason to fight. He has every reason to fight everybody. He should be mad at everybody. Nobody grows up and says, I want to live in Cleveland. The only people who like Cleveland collectively was from a period of about 1994 to about maybe 2001. That was Bone Thugs and Harmony. It's the only time anybody liked Cleveland. My bad, I apologize. Drew Carey tried to make us believe but that was during that same time when he had the Drew Carey show about Cleveland. And like nobody just dreams of Cleveland.
James, we got some names to discuss because with the recent Hall of Fame class getting enshrined, we got a new list of first-time eligibles for the Pro Football Hall of Fame 2027 class. And there's some exciting names on this list. I can't wait to get your opinion on. First things first, let's take a look at this list, courtesy of Adam Schefter. So the names include Rob Gronkowski, Ben Roethlisberger, Adrian Peterson, Richard Sherman, Cam Newton, Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, you got three of the Steelers right there in the picture, Andrew Whitworth, Alex Mack, Gerald McCoy, and Eric Weddle. Now, James, what are your thoughts on this list of first-time eligibles for the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2027? And will we see Antonio Brown slow down on the controversial tweets?
Antonio Brown's not getting in. He's facing a charge. Le'Veon Bell's not getting in. Why is Gerald McCoy on this list? Or are we just saying eligible guys? We're not saying like people are actually thinking about him. Gronk, Ben, AP, Richard. Those are the four. Maybe Cam, but Richard will get in because not only was he one of the better players on a Super Bowl, multiple Super Bowl contending teams, he's also in media, which always helps. Like he's like not Cam Newton media like how we're doing, but Richard Sherman's on one of the big ones, so that typically will help him get in. So, and with Revis getting in not too long ago, this all makes it more realistic that he will get in.
Shout out to everybody who is eligible as a first-time eligible member for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I know that's a crazy feeling seeing your name on that Adam Schefter tweet. And speaking of another Adam Schefter tweet, James, your boy is a commander.
Zesty pick.
Your boy is finally commander, and we're not talking about Brandon Ayuk. We are talking about Stefon Diggs. So Stefon Diggs signed a 1-year deal worth up to $12 million with the Commanders. I know he's from the DMV area, so he's going back home. And some clips came out of him at camp, and he was looking pretty shifty out there on that field. So shout out to Stefon Diggs on going back home to the DMV. Shout out to you, man, for sure. Speaking of players, James, this time we're going from the DMV to Detroit because our guy is on the reserved retired list. So head coach Dan Campbell recently came out and announced that QB Teddy Bridgewater is on the reserved retired list. So I'm waiting on this to pop up for you guys. Gonna make sure you can see this post. But just to reiterate, Dan Campbell did recently come out to the media and explain to them that Teddy Bridgewater is going to be on that reserve retired list. Do you think he's going to make a 180 back around to coaching, James, at a rival school in Miami? Or what do you think Teddy Bridgewater is going to do now that we got wind that he is on the retired list?
I mean, if he needs some more money to finance his park or play stuff, like he's gonna go ahead and like he's still available. So like that's just giving him a spot for them to be able to activate him. That means they got a good relationship. Like if they're making a playoff run and they need a body, they know where they can turn.
Shout out to Teddy Bridgewater. He is definitely one of those guys to represent South Florida to the highest of the highest in the big league. So we're going to be moving on to a reminder for all of my NFL fans out there, because there are some new head coaches in the league. We don't want you to forget. Now, take a look at these 10 head coaches on the screen to look at where they are coaching. So you got Jeff Hafley on the Miami Dolphins, Joe Brady, Buffalo Bills, Jesse Minter, the Ravens, Mike McCarthy, Steelers, Todd Monken of the Browns, then Clint Kubiak, Raiders, Robert Saleh, the Titans, AFC South rival, John Harbaugh, New York Giants, Kevin Stefanski, the Atlanta Falcons, and Mike LaFleur of the Arizona Cardinals. So we have 10 new head coaches in the NFL this year. And James, I'm going to ask you the same question DraftKings asked in the caption. Which new head coach will make the playoffs in year one? I think this one's a pretty easy one. I think
Joe
your
Brady.
guess, Joe Brady for sure. But other than Joe Brady, who else do you see making a splash in the playoffs? Jesse Minter and
McCarthy.
company? McCartney,
McCarthy.
okay. So you
Um,
think, okay, nice.
I think Minter is going to have a harder time than what people think. He has the best roster, but he has to be able to adapt his roster to the quarterback that he has, which they had a good thing going. Kubiak is a pretty good coach. But some of these teams that are on this list really need full rebuilds. Like, there's going to take time. Like, you can't just, like, you could coach it, but they're going to need some people to get healthy. The Falcons are in a better position though. AFC South is still, like, the best team is the Buccaneers, but they're not that great. The Panthers, the Bucks, the Falcons, and shit. Who am I forgetting? It's another mid team.
Saints.
That's it. So, like, there's nobody right now that just oozes you with confidence.
Speaking of oozing with confidence, USA Today aren't confident in the Jaguars. So USA Today decided to give the 2026 NFL record projections. Going to make sure it's shared with you guys on the screen. Going to pop it up for you guys right here. But James, for the AFC South, USA Today has projected the Jaguars to go 9-8, with the Texans going 12-5 to lead our division. But I'm going to show you guys the post on the screen right here so we can take a look at not just the AFC South, but your favorite division in football as well. So I'm going to share this with you guys and let's get it started. Let's take a look at these projections, y'all. So let's start off at the top left with the AFC West. They got the Broncos leading the way 12-5, Chiefs 11-6, Chargers 9-8, Raiders 3-14. AFC North, the Bengals 11-6, Ravens 7, Steelers 7. Ravens 10-7, Steelers 7-10, and Browns 5-12. And then if you see the parentheses next to your favorite team or a favorite team, those indicate the playoff seeding projections as well. For the AFC South, the Texans going 12-5, Jaguars 9-8, Titans 6-11, and Colts 5-12. AFC East 11-6 Bills, 10-7 Patriots, Jets 3-14, and Dolphins 1-16. Now let's take a look at the hardest division in football, the NFC West. The Rams 14-3, Seahawks 14-3, Niners 11-6, Cardinals 2-15. Bears of the AFC North, 12-5, 11-6 for the Lions, 10-7 for the Packers, 9-8 for the Vikings. NFC South, Saints, 10-7, Bucks, 8-9, Falcons, 6-11, Panthers, same thing as well. for the NFC East. They got the Cowboys getting 11 wins, 6 losses. Commanders 9-8. Eagles, the opposite of that. And Giants 6-11. What are the most egregious 2026 NFL record projections on this list? And which ones are the most accurate in your opinion, James? And in your guys' opinion in the chat as well.
They're not. No conference is getting 2 14-3 teams. That's not happening. I mean, no, not conference. Excuse me, no division. That's just not happening. I think they're trying the Eagles. I'm not mad. I think the Jags are better. I think 9-8 is the floor for the Jaguars. I just believe that they're going to go higher than that. And 11-6, this is clearly a Cincinnati Bengals fan. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So, those would be my 10-7. The Saints, not going to happen. No sirree, Bob.
Shout out to everybody who is a fan of the Jaguars, man. Hopefully that 9-8 will be something like 12-5, 13-4, and hopefully we can be on top of that AFC South division. But man, that Texans defense is one to not mess around and not take for granted, man. So hopefully we can see how the Jags pan out with the Texans. Definitely going to be a great, great game for football fans and for AFC South fans in particular. Now, James, we have a crazy, well, depends on how you like your food, BS or bussin' food review segment for today, because I don't know how many people will take this one right here, because we got a deep fried chili cheese dog. So if this is your first time at the show, welcome to our BS or Bussin' food review segment, where we show a food item on the screen, and James and the chat would rate the food item with BS if the food item looks trash, or bussin' if you would take down that food item. And like I mentioned, according to X Cuisines, we have a deep fried chili cheese dog we're gonna put on the Summer Jam screen. So let's take a look at this dog right here. There's no sound in the video, just warning you guys if you're wondering if your phone is messed up. No, I'm not gonna play the sound on the video for you guys. But welcome to the deep fried chili cheese dog, and remember to spam BS or bussin' in that chat. So I'm gonna play it for you guys, and let's enjoy. Got some hot sauce, got some decoration.
Yeah, I'm going to eat it.
Hold on a second.
But, like, I thought it would have been done differently. But
When they cut it though, that cut out that.
I don't think they put it in the oil. I think that's real time.
Oh,
Like, I think they just put it in just to get it crisp.
damn.
It might have been boiled already.
Oh yeah. Okay. I don't like how pale it is. Grill me a hot dog.
Yeah, you got to grill it, or you got to when you boil it, it's supposed to get a little larger.
Yeah.
But like, even then, like, that's a big ass. Like, you definitely got to cut in half.
Yeah.
I don't trust the man that's just taking that one hand in that bitch and just throwing it. Like, that one does need to be cut. Like, you know.
Yeah. Actually, it might take a fork and knife to that.
Yeah, but like, I don't know why I thought something different. I thought like I thought it was gonna be in a bun still. But yeah, I like chili dogs. So like, this is just a different construction of a chili dog. It's actually more chili than dog.
I can't tell if it'll be less or more messy.
That definitely looks messy. Like, and how are you just gripping a something coming fresh out of the hot oil like that?
You gotta have it on the stick.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, if you're gonna do all that, you might as well have it on a stick. But like, I'm eating that. Yeah, that's busting all day. Twice on Sundays. Give me a couple of those. If I'm at a house party watching the game, Like, yeah, I'm messing that up.
Shout out to everybody who commented BS or busting on the food review video. And shout out to everybody who's been active in the chat. I know football season is ramping up, college and the NFL. We're excited to keep you guys updated with all your favorite squads, players, and organizations. But James, any last updates or any last notifications you want to give to everybody, or notices, excuse me, not notifications. Sorry about that. You want to give to all the fans out here who's tuned in to today's show of Big Games BS?
No, make sure you check out the show, jam the like button, go back and watch bits and pieces later on. Getting into the season, make sure you check out the tailgates, all those different things. But outside of that, appreciate everybody for chopping it up with me. We'll see you guys next time.